Good afternoon, everybody out there on the internet. This is Peter Webdoc Martin talking to you from beautiful, sunny Baltimore, Maryland. It has been the craziest weather I've ever seen. I grew up in Baltimore, and I do not ever remember an October where it's in the upwards of the high 70s during the day, and then at night it drops down into the 40s. So hopefully wherever you are, you're enjoying some nice weather as well. And it is a couple minutes early, so I wanted to get on there because I've noticed a lot of people jumping on this webinar today, which I'm very excited about because this is a very hot topic. I'm going to show you how to make a lot more money online today and tell you some exciting things. So as we wait for a couple more minutes, because it's not quite 1 o'clock, we actually got a couple minutes there. But I wanted to welcome everybody. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Peter Martin. I am also known as the Web Doc. I've been doing technology for quite some time now, longer than I want to admit. And we focus at my parent company that I work for is called Cactus Sky Digital. A lot of you know us through Cactus Sky because you've probably received an email from us. Most of the major companies out there in the automotive industry, they hire us to help them market their products and services to car dealers. So we do a lot with a lot of different companies, Equifax, J.D. Power and Associates, Chrysler, companies like that, where we do marketing on their behalf. But we also have developed some products to help car dealers and businesses be more successful. And Testimonial Builder is one of the products that we have. And what I'm going to do in essence today is I'm going to show you how to do what we do at Testimonial Builder so you can benefit and use it in your business. This is by far not a sales pitch. Literally, if you would like a copy of my presentation deck, just call me afterwards or email me, and I'm more than happy to give it to you. What I'm going to do today is I'm literally going to walk you through what we do for our clients, and I'm going to literally show you everything. And I'm going to give you the steps so you can take away from this presentation the tools you need to be successful. If for some reason you run into some struggles or you think, it's a little bit more than you want to do, we'd love an opportunity to talk to you about how we might be able to help you to do that. But literally, this presentation is going to show you every single step you need to take to successfully utilize video testimonials to generate more sales. And that's one of the nice things. That's why I'm probably one of the, I think I've spoken at 7 or 8 NADA presentations, NADA convention over the years. I'm usually a regular speaker at most events. Because unlike most other speakers out there, I'm not picking on anybody, I do not pitch during my presentations. I simply just say, here's how you do it, and I give you a roadmap to success. I'm not here to try and sell you a product, and that's why I believe I've been invited back so many times. And I'm excited about video testimonials because the statistics are overwhelming, and they just continue to get bigger and bigger about the impact of video and how important video is. So we've got just a couple more minutes to the top of the hour. Let me take a quick look at my calendar. We're about 1 minute away, and we have a lot of people on the call so far, and we've got more joining us, which is very exciting. And I think you're all going to get some very good information out of this, and hopefully you'll be able to generate more business. Little background while we're killing some time. I started out doing advertising back in 1986 when I was in college. I was a junior in college, opened my first ad agency, and then I was fortunate enough to pick up a little car dealer at the time. They were a new little car dealership out in Columbus, Ohio called Reichert Ford, and I helped Reichert Ford become the #1 Ford dealership in the United States. I was doing all their advertising, and it was a great time for me because the two brothers, Rhett and Fred Reichert, had just taken over the dealership from their dad. The dealership was not doing real well. Fred was 32, Fred was 36, and Rhett was 32, and Fred wanted to be a country singer. And he just loved being in front of the camera. He's a total ham. Love the guy. And I started doing TV commercials, designing TV commercials for him, and I made him the star. And we started having him sing in the commercials. And needless to say, the rest is history. They're to this day still one of the top 4 dealerships in the country. But with that being said, you now know a little bit about me. And I am going to pop into the presentation, get this thing started for you. And give me a quick second here. Go to meeting is a little bit slow today for some reason. But the topic today is they share, you sell, turn your satisfied customers into free advertisers. A little bit of information about me. As you know, I'm the president of Cactus Sky and Testimonial Builder. Prior to this, I was also the technology correspondent for ABC News and SNN6 down in Florida. Now I live in Baltimore, so needless to say, I'm no longer doing that. But it was a lot of fun when I was doing it. What I'm going to ask you all is this. If during the presentation you have any questions, you can submit them in the questions feature. What I'm going to do to keep the continuity of my presentation, I'm going to answer all the questions at the end. So save all your questions, and if for some reason I don't answer your questions to your satisfaction, feel free to email me afterwards. I'm going to give you all my contact information at the end. And like I said earlier, for those people just joining us, we've got a couple more who just popped in. This presentation, if you'd like a copy of it, I will give you a copy of it, no strings attached, because what I'm going to show you today is how to successfully use video testimonials. And why that's so important is this. 84% of people today believe reviews as much as personal recommendations. Think about that. They're reading reviews. Everybody is reading reviews. It is a very powerful thing in today's market. So by having good reviews and taking it one step further, video testimonials, you're just building more credibility out there in the marketplace. And why this works so well is you're going to be able to build your local presence organically, because as you get more and more reviews, more of those reviews and testimonials are going to show up on Google. Now, I always like showing this because, and I told you a little bit how, I was in college in '86, so you can kind of figure out how old I am, but back in the day, there was a thing called Yellow Pages. And this was a study done by Google, kind of talking about, how the Yellow Page is now a dinosaur. Because today, when somebody's looking for a new product, the first thing they do is they grab their phone or they go to their computer or open a tablet and they simply search for it. So they do their search, and then during that process, they read reviews. Then, if available, they're going to watch some videos about the product they're interested in. And then the last thing they're going to do is they're going to ask for recommendations. They're going to ask to their network. And then at the end, they're going to come into your dealership and purchase a car. Well, we all know that Google is the king. And you need to be on page 1 of Google because 99% of the people never go past page 1 of Google. That's critical. But many people don't realize that Google actually owns YouTube, and YouTube is the second largest search engine. But why that's important and why I point that out on the screen is this. Because Google owns YouTube, they kind of have favored nations, relationship. So YouTube has a big impact. So that your videos, if they do well on YouTube, that will also translate for better placement on Google for you. But what is really important is this, and this is by far one of the single most important slides on the presentation, because if you understand this portion of the slide and the presentation, it will help you tremendously. Google has invested millions and millions of dollars on voice recognition technology. And what they are now doing is they are listening to the videos on YouTube. Not only are they looking at the tags and the descriptions and all that information, the title information, but they're actually listening to the videos and they're pulling out SEO keywords. I'm going to go into that in a little bit more detail in a few more slides. But this is a critical thing because if you follow what I'm going to teach you today in your process, you are going to come up considerably higher in your ranking on Google. Why that's important is 84% of consumers trust an online review as much as a personal recommendation. So let's take a look at an actual case study here. So what I'm recommending for you, and this is good for any business, whether you're a dentist, a doctor, a plumber, a home remodeler, whatever business you're in, you want to shoot the video testimonial at the time of delivery or the time of when you're providing that service, because that's when the customer is the most excited. When I was selling cars, for example, at Reichard, it took an average of an hour and a half to 2 hours to get somebody into F&I. It was horrific. I actually went out and learned magic so I could entertain my customers while I was waiting to get them into F&I. So what I recommend is that you take advantage of the downtime waiting to get somebody into F&I to film the video testimonial. It gives you something to do with the customer. It keeps them busy, keeps them from going out there and shopping, and cross-shopping and doing whatever else they might be doing. But now you're using that time more productively. So let's take a look at Caitlin's story, for example. Caitlin is a millennial. She's got 1,800 Facebook friends, and she purchased a new RAV4. Now, what happened was the salesperson filmed her testimonial prior to going into F&I. And then Caitlin shared the picture on Facebook, her little video. Now, what's exciting is the average person has about, this is a little older slide, I need to get this updated, 750 friends on Facebook. So the average person has 750 friends on Facebook. So there were 50 views of Caitlin's video before she was out of the F&I office. So think about that. While she was in F&I for about an hour and 20 minutes getting, all the paperwork signed, there were 50 people that viewed her video. There were 200 people that viewed it the next morning. 5 days later, Caitlin had 300 views. And in less than 2 weeks, she had over 1,200 views. Now, granted, Caitlin is a pretty young millennial. She's standing in front of a nice blue car. But the fact of the matter is, she's got over 1,200 views on this video. So think about that. Every time you sell a car, you now have an opportunity for 350, corrected number, 750 people seeing that video. So let's say your average salesperson is only selling 10 cars a month, okay? So they're selling 10 cars a month. Let's say they only do half, so they get 5. But that's 5 people, 5 cars that are sold with an average of 750 friends that are now going to have advertising exposure to a video. Now this video right here has over 1,200 views and still growing. So it's very possible that some of those videos can pop up over 1,000. If you don't believe me, I'm going to share this with you because this right here is very powerful. And it supports everything that I told you about, the voice recognition, the importance of Google, how Google's listening to the videos. This is from one of my clients. I am having a dealer principal from a competing Toyota dealership near me complaining about our customer testimonials because they're showing up for searches for their dealership. Can you imagine if you start showing up for searches for your competition? And I don't care whether you're a doctor, a dentist, a car dealer, an auto repair shop, whatever business you're in. Could you imagine when somebody's searching for your competition and your videos start showing up, and those videos are videos of people talking about how happy they are with your service? That is what's so powerful about video testimonials. So how do we do it? Let's walk you through the steps. It's pretty easy. You're going to shoot the testimonial. You're going to share it on YouTube. You're then going to share it on social media, and it's going to automatically start building your brand. Now, this is where I'm going to literally walk you through the steps on what you need to do. First and foremost, you need to build a YouTube channel. A lot of people say, oh, I already have a YouTube channel. That's wonderful. You need to build a new one. You need to have a new YouTube channel that is just dedicated to customer testimonials. So you build a new YouTube channel to customer testimonials, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes. Most of us have a YouTube channel, and it is littered with everything you can think of. Car reviews, special messages, service, sales. I mean, it just becomes like a depository of whatever video you might want to throw up there. You want to keep your customer testimonials in one clean location so you can find them. So now you build your new testimonial YouTube channel, and now you have your salesperson have access. So you're going to have to give access to that YouTube channel to all of your salespeople. So now every salesperson has access to that YouTube channel on their phone. You're going to give them their username and the password. So that's the other reason why you're going to be giving salespeople access to this YouTube channel, and you may not want to have salespeople with access to all of, to your main corporate YouTube channel. So you now give the salespeople access to the YouTube channel so they can take these videos and film them on their phone. So now they've got the customer in front of their car and they shoot the testimonial. It is important that the salesperson says these keywords. You need to have the name of your dealership and your location, your city and state. These are critical SEO key terms. And then you need to put in year, make, and model of the vehicle purchased. I have seen phenomenal results with used cars with this product for helping the dealer get more exposure. If I'm a Ford dealership in Columbus, Ohio, and I just sold a Chevy Silverado, when I'm doing the video testimonial, hi, this is Peter with Reichert Ford in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm with Johnny, who just purchased a 2010 Chevy Silverado. Why that's important, if we go back to the earlier part of the presentation where we're talking about voice recognition. Now, Google is picking up Columbus, Ohio, 2010 Chevy Silverado. If somebody is searching in Columbus, Ohio for a Chevy Silverado, there's a very high probability that this video will show up. Now remember, I'm a Ford dealer, but now I'm showing up when someone's searching for a Chevrolet. It goes back to that text message I showed you a little bit earlier. People get upset because now all of a sudden, if you do this properly, you're going to be showing up all across the web on all different types of searches. Very, very powerful. This is the single most important slide in the presentation. So please make note of this. Before you can use anyone's video on your website, in your advertising, or any of your marketing, you have to have a legal release form. Now you can go Google them and you can pull up all different sample ones. I can send you a couple samples. Make sure you run it by your attorney and have him approve it. Because the last thing you want to do is start using Caitlin, the little blonde millennial I showed earlier, on your advertising, and all of a sudden Caitlin gets upset about it. You want to make sure you have the person's permission. So you have them sign the release form and you put it in the deal jacket so you don't ever have to worry about losing it. Very, very important that you do this. Now, once that video is uploaded to YouTube, you need to have a contact or a point person at the dealership that's going to be managing that YouTube channel. So now what you're going to want to do is now you're going to want to make sure that somebody notifies him that there's a new video loaded on YouTube. Because once that person knows that, he now needs to go find that video that you just uploaded, and you need to go in the back end and you need to tag the video. When you tag the video, and I'm not going to go into a lot of detail trying to teach you how to tag a video. You can just go to YouTube and you can watch some different videos on how to properly tag the videos for proper SEO. But it's critical that you tag the videos properly. You want to make sure you got your city, your state, all your information. You want to make sure you have the correct title on the vehicle, and you make sure the video looks okay. Sometimes the videos don't look okay and you can edit them, clean them up. After you do that, you need to then go click on the share button. Okay, so the share button is going to pop up. It's going to give you this code down here. This is your code, and you're going to copy that code and email that to the customer that provided the video, or what I would recommend is you email it back to the salesperson, since the salesperson is going to have that customer's contact information. So now that the video has been all put together, you've got all the back-end coding done, you made sure everything is correct, it's all set up properly, you now give that video link back to the salesperson, so now the salesperson can email that out to the customer so the customer can get a copy of the video and they can start sharing it. The other thing that's going to happen is when you send that video to the salesperson, now the salesperson can now start sharing it on his channels, because most salespeople want to brag and tell everybody that they sold a car. So now the salesperson can share it on their social channels. You want to then make sure that the person who's monitoring and managing all of those emails and all of those videos on their YouTube channel also is now then sending those videos over to your website provider, so those videos can be added to your website. And it's important that they're done properly. You can't iframe them in because you're not going to get the SEO value. Your website provider needs to take that video and they need to actually embed it onto your website. The goal of this product is to, number one, get you as much free advertising as possible. So if everybody's out there and they're sharing their video bragging about the new car they bought, you're going to get a lot of free advertising. But where this product has a huge amount of value is literally you could have on a daily basis fresh content being added to your website. So now your website is going to have a much higher SEO value, because not only is it fresh content, but it's also YouTube content, which Google loves. Now, I just walked you through all of the steps on how to do it. So literally you now have a complete roadmap. I will share this with you. I'll give you this right here so you have the whole roadmap on how to do it. I'm going to take a couple minutes and a couple slides to explain to you what Testimonial Builder does, just so you can see a comparison. What Testimonial Builder does, very simply, is it helps you create, publish, and syndicate effective online video testimonials. It does everything automatically, including optimizing your videos. And here's how simple it works. Every salesperson has an app that's specific for them. They log into the app on their iPhone, Android, or iPad. They point the camera at the customer. They hit the record button, and they read the custom script. When I built this product, I put a teleprompter in there because I know that salespeople like to ad-lib things. And ad-libbing is great, but you need to make sure that you're saying the proper SEO key terms or you're not getting the benefit. So here's how it might go. Hey, this is Peter with Reichert Ford in Columbus, Ohio. I'm here with Susie. She recently purchased a 2017 Ford F-150. Susie, tell everybody about your experience here at Reichert Ford. Oh, Peter is great. He's a wonderful salesperson. I love my F-150. Fred Reichert needs to get some singing lessons, but other than that, it's been great. Thank you, Susie, for your business. If you want to have an exceptional buying experience, visit us at www.reichertford.com or call us at 614-239-1345. Boom, it's that easy. The key here is the script includes all of the keywords, city and state, year, make, and model, so the salesperson does not miss saying what he's supposed to say. And then it also closes out the video by putting in 2 additional key search terms, your website address and your phone number, because after somebody watches this video, we want them to be able to find you and get back to the dealership. The next piece that the app does automatically for you is this. It automatically brings up a screen where you can turn to Susie and say, hey, Susie, is it okay for me to use your video on my web page and on my advertising? Oh, sure, Peter, no problem. You have her sign it, so she literally signs it with her finger. So now you have a legal release that is stored for your protection. The last thing it does is it asks for Susie's email address. And part of the thing that we train our clients on is this, and this is something that if you're going to do it yourself, you want to make sure you do this. Susie, what is the email address that goes to your phone? Because let's face it, everybody has a fake email address they use when they're buying a car. I'm sure everybody's smiling on the phone, shaking their head with me. Everybody has that fake email address. We want the email address that they use on their phone. So now, all of a sudden, we've got the correct phone number and email address tied together. So now we click the send link, and literally within a matter of seconds, Susie has a copy of that video that you just filmed of her standing in front of her brand new car. And from the app, she can easily share it on all of her social channels. So what do you think Susie's going to do? She's going to start sharing it. Exactly. That is the beauty of the app. It's designed to make it very simple. You can download the app for free and you can try it. It's available on the Apple Store and on the Google Play Store. This program is very simple. Whether you use Testimonial Builder or you do it yourself, it doesn't really make a difference. You need to start doing it, because if you do it within the first 90 days, you're going to see an impact in your exposure, because as people start sharing, think about it this way. The average person has 750 friends on Facebook. Where do you think most of those people live? That's correct. They live in your area. They live around your dealership. So now all of a sudden, you've got Susie telling all of her friends about the great experience she just had at your dealership and how she loves her new car. People love to brag. I don't care whether it's a new car or weight loss or whatever it is. People love to share and brag. Brag is not a bad thing, but that's what we live in. We live in a society where everybody wants their 30 seconds of fame. So now you're giving them opportunity to do that. The one thing I will tell you is you need to get that video in their hot little hands as soon as possible. The faster you do that, the more impact it's going to have across the board. So with that being said, I'm going to leave my contact information up there on the screen. I was able to get through the presentation very quickly. I don't want to tie you up too long, but I'm going to open it up to some questions for anybody out there. And as you can see there, my phone number, cell phone number, and office numbers there. If you'd like to talk to me offline, feel free to give me a call. So here's the first question. Okay. Oh, this is a very good one. How can I get my salespeople to do any follow-up? I can't even get them to follow up with phone calls. Well, what I've found is this: you incentivize, and there's 2 different ways you could approach it. Number one is you could take the carrot or the stick. The carrot would be, hey, for every video you upload, I'm going to pay you $50 or $25. So I've got a couple of those that are doing that, and they're doing phenomenal. They're getting a lot of people doing that. The other one is to have a contest. You know, you have a contest where it's whoever gets the most videos uploaded and then also has the most views, you know, you give them, you know, a little spiff. If you put a little bit of money behind this, you're going to see much better engagement from your sales staff. The other part of it is you need to explain to them, and that's where the benefit of the app comes into play. what we do for the clients is we have every salesperson has their own version of the app. So now they're getting their own videos that they can share themselves, but we also provide for them a mini little website that's just going to have their video testimonials. So if I work at Reichert Ford, for example, I could have a little section on the site where it's just my Peter Martin testimonial. So now if I'm sending out an email to a potential customer, I can say, hey, you know what, Mr. Customer, don't take my word for it. Hear what my customers have to say about me. And they can watch testimonials about me. I have one aggressive sales guy up in one of my dealerships who actually, when he's negotiating and going back and forth with the tower, when he leaves his office to go talk to the manager, he actually turns his monitor around and has his video testimonials playing. So while the customer's waiting for him to come back, they're watching testimonials about what a great salesperson he is. So there's a lot of innovative ways you can do it. So that's one of the great ways to get the salespeople to engage, because now they see a value for themselves. The other way is, and I've got one dealer that's doing this, he tells them, you know what, if you don't, he tells them, hey, I'm paying for this product for you, and unless you have a good reason and a manager talks to the customer and they don't want a video, if you have a customer that you sell a car to and you don't get a testimonial without a good excuse, I'm docking your commission $50. So you can either give them $50 incentive or you can dock them $50. It's the carrot or the stick. But the goal here is to get the videos, because the more videos you have up on YouTube, the higher likelihood you have of getting that exposure that you want. Okay. Here we go. If the salesperson leaves, do I risk losing the customers he did videos of? No, because if you're one of our clients, for example, those videos are on your YouTube channel. So those videos belong to you. And the way our system works is we simply just turn off the app for that person, so now that salesperson no longer has access. And that is one of the things I will tell you. If you decide not to use the Testimony Builder app, you're just going to do it yourself, make sure that when somebody leaves the dealership, you go in there and you change your password. You don't ever want to leave an unhappy customer or an unhappy salesperson with access to your testimonial YouTube channel that you're building. So you're going to go in there and change the password and let everybody know the new password. So then we got next question. Are total views of the video testimonials the only measure of success? Or are there other benefits by having videos on YouTube, SEO value, etc.? Very good question. Thank you for asking that. The total number of video views, the only measure of success. Well, there's a couple measures of success. Number one is, of course, the number of views. That's one of the biggest things. The second one is by looking at your ranking on Google. You can check that. You can also look at your traffic. The other way to look at that is also looking at your Google Analytics, because if people are watching your videos and they're watching them, they're finding them and going to your website, it's going to increase the traffic to your website. So that's another way. And what we're hoping to do in the future versions of the our program is to actually be able to tie that back directly into sales. So we can actually track and show, look, this person had this many views and it generated these leads, and you're able to generate some sales from there. But really the biggest value is going to be SEO value and the exposure. What if my website company won't help me post the videos on their site? Another great question. Unfortunately, there are some website providers out there that are not friendly. They don't like to play with other kids in the playground. So what we do to protect you, to help you, is we actually give you a free website. So let's say, for example, you become a client of ours and you're Reichert Ford. We would go out and on your behalf, we would buy the domain Reichert Ford Testimonials or ReichertFordReviews.com. You would own that. We would just get it for you. And what we do is we would put up a mirrored website that looks identical to your website. We have all the same activity, all the same links. And then what we would do is we'd push those videos to that channel. So now instead of your website provider putting the videos directly on your website, we would actually put them right onto this website we would build for you. There's no additional cost. And then on your website, with that unfriendly web provider, all they've got to do is put a link on your website that says click here for video testimonials. The person would click on that. It would go to a website that looks like your main website, so they wouldn't even know they've gone anywhere else unless they looked at the address bar, and all of your video testimonials would be housed on that one location. So we have, unfortunately, we've had that situation with a couple of these web providers that are not very friendly, so we have to, you know, do things for the dealers over and above, and that's part of what we do here at Testimonial Builder. Will the app work on Android as well as Apple and iPad? Yes, this app, we have built this so it works on Apple and also works on Android. And doesn't really make a difference what version Android. And I will tell you from a development standpoint, Android has been a nightmare because there's like 274 different versions of Android phones out there, and our app had to interact with all of them, which it does. Okay, next question, this one right here. Can I use this app in service? Actually, that is a very good question, and I highly recommend you using it in service. And I normally would put a slide in or two, but I kind of cut this deck down because I wanted to make sure I left time for questions and answers, because I try to keep my presentations to under 30 minutes. And service is a phenomenal area to do this, and statistics show that over 74% of the American population does not have an automotive repair shop that they trust. So if 74% of the people out there don't have a car dealership or a repair shop that they trust, having video testimonials up there when someone's searching for Ford repair or Ford service or Ford automotive repairs or Toyota, and all of a sudden your video testimonials are popping up, it's a tremendous way to get great SEO and drive traffic for your service department. And the other nice thing about it is no one else out there is doing anything on focusing on service when it comes to SEO. Think about it. Most dealerships don't spend any money on service marketing at all, okay? So they wouldn't even think about doing service SEO marketing. By simply using this app and putting video testimonials out there for service, you're going to get some great exposure and actually do very well with it. Okay, and let's see, I think I have one more question. And the last question is, someone trying to call me, and sorry about that. Last question is, does this work for other industries? It definitely works for all industries. Any business where you're going to be working with somebody or providing them a service. We actually have a doctor who is now using it in his practice. We have a company that does stretching, physical therapy type work. We have all types of people that are approaching us. We have a leather repair company out of New York we're talking with right now that wants to utilize this. This is a simple way to create, syndicate, and publish video testimonials. And that's what this app does, is what I'm trying to teach you to do. Because if you get ahead of the power curve and you start using videos in all of your marketing, you're going to see huge lift in your results. And with that being said, I want to thank everybody. It is now 1:30. I'll try to stay on time for everybody. Again, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I very much hope you did get some good information out of this. My contact information I will leave up there for you. Feel free to reach out to me if you'd like me to send you a copy of my deck. If you want to call me, feel free to call me. I'm here to help. And everybody, once again, thank you so much for your time. It's been an honor and a privilege to spend some time with you today, and hopefully you're going to take away some good information, and I'm going to hear some great things about how many more cars you're selling, because you're getting a lot of great exposure online. This is the Web Doc signing off.